Hello, my name is Itamar Lilienthal. I am a third-year student at NYU currently. You could call that a junior. I study art at Steinhardt, pursuing a BFA in studio art, aside from all the other things that I do at NYU, which is architecture is one of the things I'm getting into nowadays. Being a Jew that was born in Mexico, that then moved to San Diego, and now he lives in New York. I have a very global identity. I've been in so many places around the world. I've been fortunate enough and been exposed to so many cultures that I could call my own, that are within each other so drastically different. Like Mexican and indigenous Mexican culture, which my whole life when I was a little kid, and to this day I still see it as part of my own, and Jewish Eastern European culture. And now San Diego surfer culture. I was never good at sports. I liked art since I was a little kid. I was always painting on the walls in my house, on brick, so that didn't go well with my parents. I just see it as meditative, honestly. I realize when I don't do art for a certain period of time, I just go crazy. Each art piece is like a child, and this is my view with having a child. There are too many people in the world anyways, but the only way you should have a child is if you know it's gonna add something positive to the world. There's already too much art in the world anyway, so if I'm gonna do an art piece, it has to be something that's gonna add something positive to the world. For me, there's a difference between art in the sense of decoration, of just designing something. That is not really art because you don't use any creative influence to do it. You kind of just copy something that somebody told you to do. And then there's art that you're literally exploring something, exploring whatever's in your mind or helping people with it. Specifically, more than anything, I've been more connected to the Mexican tribal paintings just because it's very fresh in my eyes. And I think in the world nowadays, you start seeing more and more tribal designs pop out, more of that mindset. I didn't want to go to school. My brother dropped out of school. He's currently in NYU now, so way to go, NYU. When it was my turn to go to school, I knew I had to go to school. And I realized that the only way I'd be able to leave San Diego, because I still wanted to leave San Diego to travel the world, was to go to NYU because it would have the best, it has some of the best study abroad programs. In every other art school, when you do a major in art, you focus on a specific medium where it can be painting, film, photography, sculpture, anything. And in NYU, the beauty of it is that you don't focus on one medium. You get to dabble in all different kinds of mediums, which is, I think, is an essential thing being an artist in today's world. And at this point of my life, I'd rather experience more than just close myself off to the one I know how to do, because that way I can grow as an artist and as a human being. I very rarely do a piece of art where I already know what I'm going to do. Most of the time I see it as an exploration. Whether if it's maybe I'm dealing with an issue, maybe I'm just exploring different ways of how things work together. So I kind of just you could call it a jam. I jam with the brush. So I just normally go for it. Sometimes I have an idea of the direction of where I want to take it. Maybe if I'm drawing a creature or I'm drawing a landscape. I normally try to treat each piece as its own living life form. My ideal career would be to not even have to call it a career. I would make enough money with my art so I can support myself and not have to worry about supporting myself. And that I can keep on doing everything that I love to do, which is whether it's art, architecture, building things, enjoying life, and never having to work for anybody except for myself.